let's talk about the presentation in general for Sony.
Lord Miller were there. They came out to introduce the directors of the next one. And basically, the words they used was they threw the rule book out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It takes place right at the moment that the second movie ends, and we saw a more extended scene or the continuation of that confrontation between Miles Morales and Miles Morales, and the fact that our Miles Morales can't pronounce his last name right.
Right. It was fun. So literally the final scene, they just extended that.
Yeah.
The final scene of the last Spider-Verse movie. I've got some visuals here to share. Hang on. Here we go. Here's some of the look of what we saw.
Yeah, so go back one, because the thing that stuck out at me was there's this Bill Sienkiewicz look. There's a Spider-Man that looks like Bill Sienkiewicz drew it, and is more like Warlock than Spider-Man. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because a lot of my friends didn't like his artwork, especially with New Mutants. I really loved his artwork.
I loved when he did New Mutants.
Mm-hmm. And and there's a character that you could swear it was inspired by that.
Yeah, so we got to see the scene that will be the first scene in that movie, and the movie's coming in. They announced a date. I believe it's next year. It's June 2027 for that. Let's talk about some of the other Sony films we got teases for. Go down the list, and I have one.
So it opened with Nate Bargatze coming out. They did a little bit on The Breadwinner. The CEO.
Which looks like a streaming movie. Looks like a streaming movie.
So the theme of Sony this year is they harped on it, but it's this idea of knocking it out of the park, taking risks, and swinging for the fences. And so that's kind of the mandate that all the movies have been given: is don't play it safe, go for it. And so Spider-Man was the first one. Then it was the Blumhouse movies. Insidious Out of the Further,
which the trailer is out. They dropped the trailer.
Yeah. And I will not be seeing that movie.
Yeah.
Then the other direction they're going in is with more anime. So Crunchyroll's playing a big role. Talk about how well Demon Slayer did, how well Chainsaw Man did. That what is it? That one time I get reincarnated as a slime is
coming out in just a few weeks.
Yeah. So and they're saying that their anime business is expanding, so they're getting on the anime bandwagon. Then TriStar, the president of TriStar came out, Nicole Brown, and there are a lot of films coming out of TriStar that are basically book adaptations for women. The first one is Clara and the Sun, starring Jenna Ortega, directed by Taika Waititi. It's basically Clara, played by Jenna Ortega, is an artificial being, and a teen named Josie chooses her to be her best friend. Then there's The Nightingale, a movie about World War II, and it stars Dakota and Elle Fanning for the first time. Then there's Stanford. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Were those the two movies? I guess those are two adaptations. Let's see. I guess Chris is going to want to talk about a movie directed by the director of Godzilla -1 and produced, get this, by J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot. So there you go. Let me see. And then Aaron Sorkin came out, talked about Social Reckoning.
Okay, now this was, he came out, talked about the Social Network and now the Social Reckoning. And oh my God, they had, Jeremy Strong.
Jeremy Strong, yeah.
Yeah. He came out and they showed like a couple scenes with him playing Mark Zuckerberg. It is Chef's Kiss.
I don't know.
That movie looks so good. I love the Social Network. That movie.
He did autistic Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, you mean Mark Zuckerberg? He's effectively Mark Zuckerberg.
It's funny that Jeremy Strong is doing it, knowing that what's his name is still who did it originally? Why can't I? Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg, yeah.
Yeah, just interesting that they didn't go with Jesse on that one. And then Mikey Madison plays a whistleblower for first. That Facebook knew. Facebook had all the research that how the negative effects that social media has on children and teens.
Yeah, that is on my list to see. It's coming October 9th. The Social Reckoning. The Clara and the Sun. Clara and the Sun didn't look all that great to me.
Well, it's TriStar, and it's I guess that company is doing female adaptations. So they did Crawdad, the Crawdad movie. They did another one. They're doing this one. It's definitely leaning toward women, and so if it works for them, it works for them.
They even leaned into that and said, "We have movies for women." Yeah. It was weird. Yeah. So we should a couple things that stood out. I want to talk about real quick. Is this? It was the Sony presentation. Tom Rothman came out, and the motto is for CinemaCon is longer, shorter, and cheaper. Longer theatrical windows, shorter pre-shows, and cheaper ways to see movies in the theater.
Yeah, affordability, basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, yes, I'd like to see now, like AMC, it's like 25 to 30 minutes of trailers and commercials.
Yeah, Regal, same way.
The last 4 commercials are all for AMC. It's like they do the one with the black couple getting popcorn, going to the movies and dancing. They do the thing about welcome to AMC. Yeah. Then Nicole Kidman comes out. Then they do another one where it's like, it's too much. Pick one. You get one. And the trailers, make them special. Don't repeat the same 8 trailers I always see. Pick, mix it up where it's like 3. We talked about the ArcLight Cinema and how much I miss it last week. The ArcLight always did limited trailers. It was 3 or 4. There were new ones. They mixed it up. And this, you see the same 6 or 8 trailers at AMC, and it's boring. So while I agree with this, there are things the studios could do that would help.
Yeah, and to his credit, he mentioned it. He talked about, we will do our part, which is we will put out better movies. But you need to do your part and, cut down the trailer times, lower your prices if you can. And the other one was, keep our movies in your theaters longer.
And I want to go back, but I want to talk about the end of the presentation. They ended with Jumanji, and they brought out The Rock, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. And they came out, and they were just goofing on each other. But
they were potty mouths the whole time.
Oh yeah, I mean they were swearing up a storm.
F word,
and just having fun. And then they showed us more of Jumanji, and now it's so there was an old Jumanji video game. Their characters are resurrected, and the characters are NPCs. I don't know how this all.
Okay. So the main characters, the main video game characters, somehow appear in the real world with the characters that and apparently the old board game got resurrected in it as well. And so there's that. And basically Jake Kasdan's back. The phrase they used was there are no more rules. It's this is one where everything goes off the rails, and they say it's the best one. Obviously they're going to say it's the best one.
They always, yeah. I mean, everything was like, this is the best. But ultimately, the Sony presentation, I wasn't really blown away. There were things like during the Spider-Man presentation, no one came out. No Zendaya, no Tom Holland,
No,
no
Tom Holland. Tom
Tom
Holland came
Holland
out.
was no Tom Holland was there as a hologram.
Having a
Interacted
conversation with
that
the president.
interacted in a pre-scripted conversation with Tom Rothman.
Yeah.
It was not great. It was like a bad skit
Yeah.
at the Oscars.
Theatrical. They don't have theater owners.
Yeah. But the one thing I saw I was blown away by was the director of Godzilla minus one and minus zero is doing a movie. They showed a tease, some images from it. It's called Gear. What's it called?
Gear. Sorry.
It's coming out in February of 2028. And they showed a scene, and it looked like epic. It would look like Pacific Rim, but done dead seriously.
It's a Grand Gear.
Grand Gear. So Grand Gear is the director of Godzilla minus one's new movie. They're filming now. What do you have to say about it?
So this is happening, and then you lean over to me, to kind of you hear this, and I go, yeah, J.J. Abrams is producing.
Yeah, that's right. The one thing, J.J. Abrams is producing it with him. He's based. Whatever. What does that even mean? Hopefully, he has very.
That means it's a bad robot production.
Well, Grand Gear, put that on I hope they leak the footage, because that was the one thing I was just blown away by.
Yeah, it was like kaiju, and it was like Shogun Warriors and fighting a kaiju.
It was, but real. It looked like not like Pacific Rim was good, but this is epic.
It didn't look like a guy in a suit.
Yeah, so good. And I think let's end on this. Sony goes all in on video game movies. Zach Kreger is doing Resident Evil, and he came out, Zach Kreger, director of Weapons and Barbarian, Oscar nominee, came out and talked about Resident Evil, what a fan he was, how he's played the games.
How long he's played. Yeah, he talked about this, unlike Barbarian and Weapons that plays with time and chapters. He goes, this one's about a guy who starts at point A and ends at point B.
Has to get to point B.
Has to get to point B.
But I didn't recognize, because I don't know the Resident Evil. I know the early games, but I didn't recognize who this character was. They showed a fairly extended tease of it. It didn't feel like Resident Evil to me. It felt like
I think he was a guy, and in a way, it's supposed to be like, a video game player, a character in a video game that you embody, right. And then you're, in a sense, you are the character, you are the protagonist, and you're kind of living this adventure through him. That's the sense I got from it.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They announced a lot, and let's go through. There's a Helldivers movie coming out November 10th, 2027.
Yes, it's directed by Justin Lin.
Yeah.
And stars Jason Momoa.
Well, there you are. Helldivers with Jason Momoa is coming. The Legend of Zelda, which they didn't show anything. That's coming May 7th, 2027.
Yeah, but they said they just wrapped production on it.
They didn't show anything except kind of a logo image. Not much there.
And it's produced by the Zelda creator. And and then I'll get into the next announcement. They are going to do an adaptation of Bloodborne, which I don't know anything about. It's a popular game. It'll be animated. It'll be rated R. Yeah. And it'll be directed by Jacksepticeye, who I believe is one of the top gamers of Bloodborne.
And then also we mentioned Resident Evil. It's coming out September 18th, this year, September 18th. That's soon. So the trailer we saw, I assume, is going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could try to find it right now, but I know we'll get.
But the Resident Evil, because we saw basically a tease or a preview.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the full trailer or a tease. Yeah. No, I don't see it online. I don't see it.
Yeah, let's see. It'll be a big scary ride, and it will take advantage of Dolby Atmos.
They mentioned that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, I don't know if there's. No, the trailer's not live right now. Couldn't find it. But it's really interesting to see so many video game properties coming out.
Yeah, I mean, you would think Sony owned a gaming platform of some sort, or a console, maybe.
And I don't know if I missed it, but in 2028 we got Grand Gear, but they've got in April 2028 the Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event.
They didn't mention any of that.
Well, it's announced in a press release, but there's nothing. They showed us nothing. They must have pulled it last minute.
Maybe. Well, I mean, it was actually announced at CinemaCon last year. We weren't there for it.
Yeah.
But when Danny Boyle talked about his latest movie, they talked to cinematographer or someone who was working on the Beatles one, and it overshadowed anything Danny Boyle had said.
Yeah. So that's it. It was again, I gotta say, I was just kind of underwhelmed. But Grand Gear, I think, is the best thing we saw, and it was something we know the least about.
Yeah. I'll say that. Yeah, there was nothing that really stood out, but I didn't see a movie that I kind of rolled my eyes at and said, "Oh my God, this one's just gonna tank." I think it's a solid, if uninspired, lineup.
But the one thing you gotta give Sony credit for is like being committed to theatrical and windows, and I say they deserve credit. And also not they're streaming. They're not like there's not like a Sony Plus or anything. Kind of, I feel like
okay. I mean, do you know the news on it? There's not a Sony Plus, but Sony made a exclusivity deal with Netflix. So Sony films will go right to Netflix when it hits any streaming platform.
Well, that's fine. That's the old model.
Well, it would be that you could watch it on several platforms, but Netflix is getting exclusive. I don't know about Spider-Man, but everything else will go right to Netflix.
Yeah, well, I think Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's got the hype, but the fact that here's what's weird. Zendaya may actually be here tomorrow for Warner Brothers for Doom Part 3. She may be here, but she was not. They really, other than Jumanji, they didn't have a lot of talent, and they didn't do a lot of spectacle in their presentation.